Welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm your host, James Linney, with my co-host, Kyle Johnson.
Hi, Kevin.
And there's no Ryan today because he's out there surviving in the wilderness.
He's just cuddling with a bear.
He's holding a log. This is my safety log.
No, he's camping.
Except he wasn't camping last night.
Okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, how'd Pong go, buddy? Did you win?
Proud of you.
I saw, yeah.
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about greatest basketball players of all time, where we kind of rank them, just go through it. Number 1 and 2. Number 1.
Yeah, it's Michael or LeBron. I mean, you can debate
Marcus
the two,
Aldridge.
but as far
No,
okay. you can debate 1 and 2. We're not even going to bother right now because everybody's done it. It's like the Penthouse, those two, everybody else. So, who you got 3? I mean,
I used to put Wilt, but then I was naive. I was naive back in the day. I love Wilt, but he's not a top 3 player. That's just ridiculous.
that's fair. He's not a top 3 because of the generation he played in.
He only won 2 rings. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
That's a big factor
Wait,
right there.
really?
Yes, he only won 2 rings. You got to remember he played against Bill Russell when Bill won all of them.
That's what it is.
Hey, Bill, I got 11. He's on this list.
That's another thing. Why does nobody rank Bill?
Because what did you just say? It's because the time he played in.
It is. Yeah,
but he won 11 rings.
That's a big thing.
Either
way.
Number 3, you could put Kobe. You could also put Kareem. I think it's kind of between those two. I know you don't have Kareem so high because he played in the 70s, 80s.
I mean, Kareem's probably my number 5.
You could flex Kareem around that way, but I would put Kareem potentially at 3. He's got 5 rings. He's won it. He has Finals MVP with two teams. He's the all-time leading scorer. He has one of the most iconic shots, just his skyhook.
Yeah.
How do you not? I know he was a 7-footer, but dude, right as soon as he came into the league, he was dominant. Let's not forget in college too. He was part of that UCLA run with the 12 championships in a row.
Yeah.
Now he clearly wasn't there for all 12.
He is just not leaving college. Huh?
Hey, Kareem. Actually, it wasn't called Kareem back then. He was
You know what? I know this because I met a guy who played in high school.
What?
Yeah, he came into the bar one time.
Oh, well, that's
He's
cool.
like, yeah, I played him in like a state championship or something. He's like, we lost, obviously.
Well, yeah, it's Kareem.
It's
Kareem. I was gonna say Len Bias, but that's the Celtics player that died from cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's number 4. Is that fucked up?
Don't do drugs.
I don't.
How do you not have a Kareem that high? Or he's in your top 5 at least.
He's in my top 5.
He has to be.
He's not. I couldn't drop him lower.
You know,
than 5.
I always say
I really want to say Kobe, Shaq, 3-4. And my reasoning for Shaq is because I think Shaq's the most dominant player to ever play the game. I think there is not a single player who's ever played who could guard Shaq one-on-one down in the paint. And I really don't think there is. I'm
a big Wilt guy. I think Wilt.
Yeah, you could argue Wilt.
I'm putting Wilt. I mean, I think that's a battle.
Well, the
Clearly,
only reason,
I think that's just
the only reason I wouldn't. I don't agree with that is because some of the stories you hear with Wilt Chamberlain just doing all these crazy things. It's how inflated is that? Because he played in, like I said, a totally different era. People hadn't seen a 7-footer like him with that much skill. I say it nowadays all the time. With 7-footers, a lot of them look like they just could topple over at any time. And I think that's the big thing, big problem with them. Yeah, this dude moved like a point guard.
Well, the thing with Wilt Chamberlain,
7'5".
Yeah, that's the thing. Wilt Chamberlain is kind of like a Giannis, but I think he's even more agile. He's this huge dude that is so mobile and can move.
Yeah, imagine that's what I'm saying. Imagine the stories Giannis would have if Giannis played in that. If you swap the two players.
The biggest thing that impresses me about Wilt Chamberlain was the year he averaged 48.5 minutes per game.
That's all of them.
That's all of them plus some. He didn't come out. That's a cardio thing. Who is doing that nowadays?
Well, it's also how aggressive was the defense against him. You know what I mean? It's even if you have 2 guys, if he's backing down a 6'5" whatever, who's just what am I supposed to do? How
did you know the average height?
How do I guard this?
I looked it up one time. The average height of players back then.
5'8".
No, it's about the same as now.
Yeah.
The big difference is the athleticism.
Yeah,
that is the bigger difference.
Just a bunch of plumbers.
Well, you gotta think. You gotta think forwards and stuff back then. Dude, they were not athletic.
No.
No. The forwards were more they were not nearly as athletic. The big men, the power forwards. Yeah, they weren't flying through the sky like they are now. Giannis is a power forward. Did you see that man just
Yeah, that's
He
what I mean.
flies.
If Giannis was doing, like, if you switch, I like the comparison between Giannis and Wilt because I feel like if you switch the two, the stories Giannis would have would be very equivalent. It's just like this dude was an absolute freak of nature.
Will Chamberlain clearly was ahead of his time. There's no debate about that. It's just
Not even
more.
close.
I think he's guy. I nowadays I would put him in my top 10. I can't put him in top 5.
I don't
When
think
I
you
was
can put
younger, I was really about it, but
I don't think you can put him outside of your top 10 just for
his impact on the game alone.
Yeah.
I mean, the record books, it's just like, okay. So basically, if Wilt didn't exist, so many records would be broken. But Wilt has 100 points a game, averaging 50 points over the season. He actually led the league in assists one year, fun fact. He's
Really?
the tallest point guard ever. He played,
Kinda what it feels like. Yeah.
it's just, no, he literally played point guard one year. But it's just, now you compare him to guys like, we were talking about Steph Curry beforehand. Where would you rank him? Because if you're talking influence on the
This
game
I had a
alone,
huge debate about the other day.
well, influence on the game alone, he's clearly on the Mount Rushmore of that because he revolutionized the game to, oh, let's be athletic, how's our mid-range?
He also came in at the perfect time as analytics were starting to, like, people were, it took people like 20, 30 years. It took people a long time to realize that a 3 was a better shot than a 2. And it's like a 25-footer versus a 20-footer is way more efficient. If you're making a 25-footer, it's a much better shot. And so he came in, his style of play, it was perfect for, like, as analytics started transferring over. So his impact, like you said, is astronomical. He completely changed the game. He still is changing the game. He's like the last connection to, you know, like the older superstars, like the, because he was still playing with, like, I don't even remember. I think Darren Williams, Brandon Roy, like those were like big stars back in the day when he was playing. Like, and now being 30, 31, he's still connected to, like, he plays a lot like the new guys, like the Treys, the Jaws, the all.
Well, but that's the thing. Everybody's, well, I would say more Trey, but I think Trey plays more like Steph. But
yeah.
it's just, he's
as
the guy,
far
as soon as he crosses half court, you have to guard him.
Yeah.
And it's like,
As far
where
as
would you put him among?
as far as where I'd put him, because his sample of work isn't done. Like, if he could go out win another title, he could go finally get himself a Finals MVP. There's a lot of stuff he could be doing, or he could do rather. So as far as like where I'd put him, probably like 20 all time, and that's right now. That's I think Steph Curry end of his career could end up being like 7, 6 even.
Well, you're gonna think too because he's clearly going to blow by the most 3-pointers made. It's not even a question. Like
he's one of the best scorers ever. It's as
he
far
was-
as like
Did
most
he,
efficient
he led the
scorer,
league in scoring this year, right? He was either 1 or 2. It was him or Beal.
It's something stupid.
But like it just the shots he was making, he literally there was one against the Celtics where guy's in his face and he's like falling, just one-handed, and he drains it. I'm like, how are you? Like this guy just, it's like the ball has a magnet to go in the hoop when he shoots it.
Yeah.
It is astronomical. I think you're going to see more players like him in the future. Not to that extent, but like the Trae Youngs. Wow, like he can shoot. Like you got to guard him right away. I think Steph's going to be the best at that ability kind of thing.
But as far as well, there we go. As far as we gotta find. Honestly, why don't we just drill these into the table? Fucking hate these things. As far as like where I'd rank them all time, I think Steph I'd probably put at 20. My number 3 I'd have to go Kobe, and
he had a huge impact on the game and was just outstanding.
And that's the big thing. I think 4 would be...
Now, do you think, and I'm going to say this, but do you think Kobe was unbelievable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe his overall look at Kobe has been inflated a little because of the death?
Well, I think everyone's going to inflate it right off the rip, but as far as ranking him at number 3, I don't think it's inflated because he does have the accolades to back it up. Like you said, if we want to count impact on the game a little bit, I mean, he was as influential as it gets.
Exactly. And that's what bothered me, and
I mean,
I'm trying to say this in a way so like people,
when people say he's the best player of all time, it's like
no, he's not.
I love, like, he is up there. He's in the conversation. He's on my Mount Rushmore, but it's like, is he better than Mike? I don't know if he ever did.
No.
I don't know if he ever got it. Is he better than LeBron? It's like, LeBron's about to beat him in every stat.
LeBron was a better overall player.
Doesn't have the titles that Kobe does, though. But then again, he also didn't have
Goldens.
Shaquille O'Neal, who is my number 4, because he's the most dominant man to ever play the game.
You know, you think I would like Shaq a lot more just because I really am into the like big men, like dominant big men.
Yeah.
And like I do like Shaq. Clearly, there's no debate. Like he's a beast. He's like I'm waiting for that big man to happen again, which I don't think it ever will, just because
Nope.
just how it is. Every guy's got to have a 3-pointer.
He's also just his size alone, dude. The way he would
Right.
play bully ball against the biggest, best players in the world, and it's not like it was like you said, like back with Wilt Chamberlain. It's not like it's
This
he's
is a
on
more
but
modern game.
This is like he would do it against like Karl Malone. He would do this against like whoever.
Where the big
like,
men were more relevant than guards. It was
Yeah.
not a guard-centric league when he was doing this.
Like even if he was playing today, like Joel Embiid, I don't think could slow him down. He's probably the best,
No.
biggest defender in the league right now. Well,
I think
maybe not the
Giannis would
best,
do
but
well against him because he has the athleticism and...
Not even the size though. Like Giannis is a big dude. Shaq would bully ball him, dude.
I'm just saying he
Would
would be...
beat
I think
him.
that would be a good matchup, but...
It'd be as good as you could get, but then again, he is
Like
he is
Jokic?
number 4 because he is that dominant. Like there is not a player or has never been a player that could defend him one-on-one down in the paint. I mean, you can.
I would debate
you can,
Wilt. I always will put that out there, but that's
But it's-
never going to happen. You'll never know.
We'll never know.
I still think Wilt would do well.
We have at 5. I think 5 is where it really starts getting interesting because I think up to 3 and 4, I mean, you could kind of debate those two, but as far as like,
So I like to try to think older time. I mean,
you got to
you could put Magic up there.
He's the best point guard.
That's what I'm saying.
it's like
he's got the rings.
Magic's top
he's-
10 minimum.
I mean, I feel like Magic and Larry are kind of near each other, whatnot. I don't want to put.
Larry's close, but I don't have him at 5.
No, I would put Magic over him just on titles alone, especially because that rivalry was so deep and it really created the Celtics Lakers rivalry, which
Yeah.
is best in basketball just overall.
It's one of the best rivalries in sports.
Unfortunately, it hasn't been relevant for a while,
No.
but I could put Magic there. I want to put Bill somewhere up there, but that's too high because the time he played
Way
in.
too high.
But 11 rings, you gotta respect that. No, could you imagine if people lose their mind when teams go back to back?
Yeah.
When like 3-peats haven't happened since Kobe and Shaq. If there's a 3-peat that happens, oh my God, it's gonna be mind blowing. Could you imagine a team winning 8 years in a row?
That's insane.
8 years.
That's like 2K.
That's not real. That just does not. I can't fathom that.
That is hard to actually wrap your head around. Now that you said
Imagine, to put in perspective, when I was in college, I was sitting there because I had a poster of like the championships, and I really sat there 8 years. I'm like, imagine you're 4 years of high school, and then 4 years of college, and your team wins every year. That's not real.
that.
And
Yeah.
I get it was a different time. There wasn't like as much coverage on it. There wasn't the social media. But could you imagine?
People do forget about that too.
But like, and it gets a different time. It was easier to form. There was less teams to play against and things like that, and they weren't as athletic. But like, okay, but they were also in that time. They were playing with that talent.
Still 8 in a row.
Still 8 in a row. That is just does not seem real. And I know there's a salary cap now and things like
But
that.
you can't put him at 5.
No. It just impact. That would be one of those impacts on the game kind of thing. You can't tell the story of the NBA without him.
I think 5 is really where it starts to get mucky. Like it's really where it starts to get like you could toss a lot of names around at 5.
Well, it's like you said you could put Kareem at 5. You could put Magic.
I'd probably put Kareem at 5.
Because you say like he played in, like
I would
against
put
shorter
Shaq
guys,
over-
but like
I would put Shaq over Kareem. Because
oh
I
yeah,
think
well
Kareem was good. He was dominant. He was like a modern, kind of more modern Wilt, but it's like nobody was as dominant as far as like centers. Like nobody was as
absolute
dominant as
dominance.
Shaq.
Yes, it
So I think Shaq is 4. I'd probably put Kareem 5. 6.
is. This where you like? Do you throw Larry up there yet?
I think Magic. I think you have to throw Magic. He's the best point guard of all time. Nobody debates that. He's got the rings.
the only guy you're debating right now is Steph Curry, and that's because the impact. If
Steph Curry, I think.
If Steph gets 5 rings, it's like that's a real debate right there.
Yeah.
That's when it's
But
like.
that's what I mean. So
ooh.
like I think Steph could be like 6, 7 when it's all said and done. Kevin Durant is another guy who I think could end up being like ahead of Magic.
It sucks with Kevin because it's just like
He's not done either, but
he's not done, and I know pure talent, like scoring wise, unbelievable.
he's the best pure scorer we've ever seen. That's not up for debate.
I
As
just
far as
think
where
I
he
just think
ranks
the
all time-
narrative of his career, people degrade it. Or it's just like
Well, dude, his rings are so saturated.
so lame. It's just like cool, you have 2 rings.
Even if if he won this year, I'm hyped he didn't. But if he won this year, it's like, dude, it's another
Congrats.
0.5 of a ring.
Now, if he had done it while James Harden and Kyrie were both out, different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally
That's where it's
different.
like, okay, you There you go.
I mean, let's not forget too. He was a fucking big toe away from sending
Literally.
everybody home.
That
so it's like,
would have gone down as one of the best game winners of all time.
yeah.
Like, it was just unbelievable. The thing with Kevin Durant is just his legacy is so tarnished by the moves he's made. And it sucks because if Kevin never joins Golden State, say he joins literally any other team besides maybe joining up with LeBron, I think people still like Kevin.
We were talking about that the other day. Like, thank God we sent Kelly Olynyk to go get Kevin Durant to Boston.
Hey, Kevin.
You know what my favorite Kelly Olynyk
Kevin.
stat is? My absolutely This is why I will never forget Kelly Olynyk. We drafted that piece of crap before Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm gonna say that again.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna say that again. We looked at Kelly Olynyk and we looked at Giannis
Giannis is not what he was.
and we said,
Or what he is.
"Give me the white boy with the long hair."
Yeah, but you acting like Giannis was this 6'11" house back then.
No, but whoever is evaluating talent should have.
Giannis also kind of sucked back then.
Did he?
In the beginning, yeah, dude, he was not good.
Okay, but his talent evaluate. I mean, he was.
And then he
okay.
went through like
He didn't.
this
he,
is a thing with
he
NBA
never had a
players.
three.
They're just like, oh,
He also literally didn't have a growth spurt. Like he was like.
So this is what I'm about to say. NBA players, so like the average human, it's like, oh, you go through puberty in what, middle school? I don't even-
It hit him like.
Oh, no, that's the best
fucking
thing.
brick
This
shit
is the thing. Everyone's like, oh, we have our puberty, and Giannis had one of those. Great. And
He
then NBA players just get a second one when they're 18. It's like, oh, you're 6'5". Oh, well, now I'm 7'2". Where did... What?
How did
Where did you get this package of a double puberty?
I-
Where did...
wait?
Because, like, they grow, like, again. It's
I
just
know,
like-
but that's a weird. Where did you get this package of a double puberty?
Maybe I shouldn't use the word package.
I think package is the weird one.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. But, like... Like, Anthony Davis is one of those guys, too, where it's like, he was 6'4", and they're like, oh, we're going to play you at point guard. And then he shot up to 6'10". It's like, okay, well, you can't play point guard anymore because you're
Well,
6'10".
I mean, we could, but like,
Okay, yeah, Ben Simmons, relax.
we're not getting the same value.
Great thing is, side note, I know we kind of got a little off topic. Ben Simmons isn't even playing for the Australian team for the Olympics.
Did he deny, or did they
I
just
just
say
don't think they offered him a spot.
really?
I think they're just like, no, Ben.
It's like, Ben, listen,
Ben.
we need to spread the floor.
Ben, stay over there.
We need to spread the floor.
Ben.
Benjamin.
Go away. But yeah, I just to get back to the,
So where are we at? 6?
I'm so yeah. See my, what do you
6, I'd put Magic.
wait? Where are you throwing Kevin? You putting Kevin at 6
No,
or 5?
I think Kevin could end up there. Kevin, I'd probably put.
It's also
He's
tough.
probably in the same boat as Steph Curry right now. He's probably like.
I would throw him out the top 10 for now, just because
He's
it's like
top 10.
finish their. I know he is, but it's like it's tough. Besides guys like LeBron, where it's like let them finish their career.
LeBron's the only exception because
Right.
you know where LeBron's going to end up. LeBron's already halfway there.
He's already halfway there. He's
Well,
done.
as far as like, but he's still going.
But yeah,
Like it's.
legacy wise, is like he can still build a little. Like he's just chasing one guy.
I'll tell you though, his
That's
fucking
oh,
Space Jam.
Oh my God, it sucks. I guess it was garbage.
Horrible.
And
Horrible.
like it's.
Mike won that one.
I haven't seen it. No spoilers, but
Yeah. I won't get into it then. But yeah.
I just heard it was kind of a money grab.
Hot garbage.
Jerry West, where are you putting it? He's the logo. He just lost so many times.
Is it Jerry West or John Stockton that leads?
Jerry West.
It's Jerry West.
Oh, wait, in assist?
Assist, yeah.
Oh, it's John Stockton. John Stockton
Is
leads.
it assists and steals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where do you put John? But he never won.
No.
Like, how much weight do you put towards rings?
You need a ring. If you're going to be in the top 10, you need a ring. You really do. Name one person in the top 10 that doesn't have a ring.
They have
you
to.
Can't.
One. You gotta have
Can't.
one.
That's why, like, Chris Paul getting a ring, if he gets it, which I really hope he does. But if Chris Paul gets a ring, that jumps him, like, probably, like, he goes from, like, a top 5 point guard of all time to probably, like, 2 or 3.
You
Just
can't
in
put
a
him
ring.
past Magic. We've talked about this.
Not
You
yet.
can't. Not yet?
If Chris, I don't know if ever.
5 rings. Give him Kareem. I get that.
Yeah,
We've had
if
this debate.
Say Chris Paul goes back to back with rings, gets Finals MVP or something. It's like, okay, maybe because this dude has been one of the most consistent all defensive first teams. Like Chris Paul right now without the ring is probably still a
Another guy.
top 25.
Another guy. Kawhi Leonard. I feel like nobody talks about him, but like he's at a
He's not done either yet, though.
He's not done, but I feel like people don't talk about him a lot. And I'm not saying he's top 10, and he still has quite a ways to go. But he went with the Spurs. He literally showed up Toronto and said, "Okay, let's do this." Don't get me wrong. He beat up on a.
He's one of the most impactful players on as far as like going to a team and elevating that team.
He's one of the most impactful players. But I mean, his championship at Toronto, it's like, yeah, he beat up on Steph Curry. That was it. But still, we got a ring. Toronto wasn't able to do it for so many years. Then he shows up. It's like, okay, he got a ring. Like,
you got to give
you got to give credit where credit's due. I wouldn't put him top 10. It's just
he can't yet. He's not done. If he gets another ring with the Clippers and continues to average 25 and whatever for the rest of his career, it's like.
He's also one of the best two-way players in the game. Like Kevin Durant.
He's like Mr. Consistent.
Well, Kevin Durant's like, yeah, he can put up 30, 35, but what's he doing on the defensive end? I'm not saying he plays terrible defense.
Well, hold on a minute, because Kevin Durant plays above average defense. He's not an elite defender by any means, but
no, that's what I'm saying. Kawhi is elite on both ends. Now, Kevin Durant's clearly a better scorer. There's no debate on that. I'm not even trying to say that. But Kawhi's mid-range, up there,
lights out.
Up there with Jordan's. Up
there. Yeah, he's got a really good mid-range, but nobody has a better mid-range than Michael.
Oh no, I know.
I think Michael
Jordan.
Him and Kobe are 1 and 2 as far as best mid-range of all time.
I mean, Wilt Chamberlain invented the fadeaway.
You gotta let go.
I'd love, dude.
We cannot compare him because it's the time he played in. Like, as much as it sucks, what can we do?
I think he would be an MVP candidate.
He might.
Today's game,
and that's not.
He doesn't have a three.
The hottest of takes.
He doesn't have a three. Yeah, Bud. There was no 3-point line, so why would he develop a shot 25 feet that way when he can score the same right in your face?
Like, oh, sorry, guys.
Actually, you ever see the video? Sorry, I have so much knowledge on Wilt Chamberlain. You ever see the video of him doing 3 skyhooks by the 3-point line, like later in his career?
No.
And he made all 3.
It's like back to back to back.
No, it wasn't in a game. It was at practice, but still, he was just. Yeah, he did it. You got to look it up.
All right.
I don't know why I had to do this all 3 times, but I did it.
So how far you want to go down on that? I'd say 7. I gotta go Bird. I think I have to go Larry Bird.
Well, you ever hear I don't remember who the comment was, and it's like kind of annoying where some guy came out and goes, "Yeah, if Larry Bird was black, he would just be another player." I'm like, that's so not true. I'm like, that is so not true. Dude, I'm not even. I don't remember what player said it.
Larry Bird shot left-handed. He said he was going to do it. I forget what game. He told some guy, he's like, I'm going to score against you all left-handed. He put up 40 plus.
Yeah,
points.
I know. This is why I think that's one of the worst takes ever. I'm like, yeah, but he led the Celtics to 3 chips. He did crap like that all the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's
the
worst
shit talkers of all time.
Yeah, dude. And I just...
He's got the accolades. He's got the stats. I think that's the big one.
Did he win 3 MVPs in a row? Was that Bill, Wilt?
I don't know.
And Michael. I don't know. But Larry has the accolades. He has done that. Like, I literally, when I heard that take, I'm like, that is garbage. I mean, that is one of the worst takes of all time. Because it's like, Larry, are you kidding? He was a part of one of the biggest rivalries, stepped up when needed to be, was one of the best shooters of all time. I'm not putting up there with Steph, but especially during his time.
No, as far as if he was shooting with the same analytics today, he'd be still one of the best shooters of all time.
But that's what. Okay, I thought you were gonna say he sucks. I'm like, no, he's still a good shooter.
No, even if he was,
but I'm just saying he was kind of one of the earlier guys to use the 3-point line, because you got to remember his rookie year, him and Magic's rookie years when the 3-point line was. Larry Bird made the game look so effortless. Like when you watched him, man that couldn't jump dominated.
That's the thing. Like you watched him play, like he's not even literally. It's like he looks like a dad at a rec league, just throwing up shots. But it's. Who else does it? But it's like they all go in.
It's in rec leagues.
Who else was I saying? It looks like they're playing in slow motion, but it works
Dirk?
every time. It was Dirk. That's who it was. It's like, dude, this dude looks like he's going 2 miles an hour. How is nobody guarding him?
Could he do that nowadays, though, in today's game? I feel like everyone's too fast.
No, you absolutely still could. You kidding me?
You think?
If Dirk can do it, Larry can do it. Or could do it.
No, I'm talking about Dirk in today's game. And I'm not talking old Dirk at the tail end. No, I'm not trying to disrespect Dirk. I'm just saying the game is way more fast-paced.
Mid-range shoot, yeah, absolutely.
I'm just.
I don't know if he could do it as long, because I think the
game is just so fast-paced now. I feel like they just.
Yeah, it's all 3-and-D players, and
this is where I think you start putting Wilt, because he's a top 10 guy.
You gotta
For the
put Wilt.
impact he had on the game with all of his records, things like that.
I can
the
agree
2
with-
rings.
I can agree with Wilt at 8.
Because it's like, you don't want to. I know we played in a different time, and they were.
There's so many Lakers and Celtics up here right now.
It's mostly Lakers. Do you know, like, this is why I understand why small market teams get so frustrated, because it's like, even if you draft well, it's very rare where, like, Milwaukee, where, oh, we drafted our guy.
Bro, look at Portland.
It is-
They have had one of the most undervalued players in the league almost his entire career. Like, Damian Lillard, the fact that he is stuck with Portland, mind-boggling, because this dude could be right up there with Steph Curry as far as like accolades and whatnot, and like just skill. Like, him and Steph Curry are very similar players. Steph Curry has had the better teams, the better coaches,
better teammates.
better
everything.
Everybody. And it's like, dude, get Damian Lillard the fuck out of Portland. I would love to see him on any other team.
Like, LA has so many legends because all these guys are fascinated in being in LA. It's like, oh, I'm going to get paid a ton. I'm going to get to go live in LA and things like that.
Have that life.
Where, like, it's very rare where you get guys like Giannis, which is like, yeah, I'm cool with staying in Wisconsin. What? We all thought he was an idiot for signing, and he's on the verge of winning an NBA championship tonight.
Yeah. Well, we'll
If
see.
he gets one chip, worth it.
Well, with a guy like Giannis, I think he's going to be in contention, especially being in the East. That's a big.
He's
looking back on it, that's a big reason he's
also, if say they win this chip this year, Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's like guys would be like, maybe we should go play with this guy.
Yeah.
He was down 2-0 in the series, and let's say they just win the next. Like, say they win 6-2.
Giannis is another guy. Let's wait and see where his career ends, because Giannis.
I was watching a video actually on him.
He's a guy who might finish as a top 10 player all time.
I was seeing a guy saying, bringing up the debate, he could debatably end up in the GOAT debate, like up there with LeBron and Michael.
Chance.
He's 26 in his accolades. He's 5-time All-Star,
Two-time
MVP,
back-to-back
Defensive
MVP.
Player of the Year.
If he wins this, it'll be a Finals MVP and.
Chris Let's say he gets it. He's most likely going to get it. I think Chris Middleton gets some votes because he's done some things, but I think Giannis overall will get it.
It's not gonna
At the age of 26 with all of this, now clearly he would have to continue his career on this path.
I think he will, though.
And I think it's only going to get better because I think we were talking about how...
Wait till he
this
fully gets an outside shot.
Well, think about this. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's with Milwaukee. Nobody wants to go play Milwaukee. If they win a championship and they know Giannis is locked up, you might get some other guys hitting free agency that's like...
Well,
I'm talking like top-tier guys where it's like...
You can definitely...
I want to go play with him.
You can definitely convince Middleton to stay. He's a great sidekick. You could definitely convince him to stay. Drew Holiday, he got paid, didn't he? He did get paid.
I don't know exactly what their cap situation is, but you are looking at guys that's like, maybe I'll take a little bit of a pay cut to go play with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, this dude is that impactful.
They're going to have a good team for a little while. It's already like that, too. Like, Brook Lopez could have got paid somewhere as not like paid, but he could have got a little more money elsewhere.
Now, I don't want to say Giannis doesn't care about money because he is the highest NBA player in the league.
Yeah.
But it's like, I wouldn't be shocked if he was like, yeah, I'll take a little bit of a pay cut. Say if it means we get a Damian Lillard level player. Now that is just such a crazy hypothetical I pulled right out of here.
Insane.
But Giannis is going to be one of those guys, and winning a championship is really vital to this. To be like, whoa, I wanna play with that guy.
Yeah.
You're down 2-0.
This is actually a very big legacy game for both Chris Paul and.
I want
Giannis.
the Suns to win. I mean, we picked the Suns winning overall, but I definitely want the Suns to win tonight because it's like, I want another game.
I do too.
I want another game.
This has been a phenomenal series.
Oh, what did I say before? One of the best in recent history since the Cavs win.
Yeah.
But what number are we even on at this point? Because Giannis could literally end up being a top 5 guy.
I don't know how much farther I can go. I think
we haven't even mentioned Jerry. I mean, we talked about Jerry West, but we haven't even thrown him in there. He's literally the logo.
Does he have a ring?
I think he's got one.
Another Laker.
I think him and Wilt won together.
Fair enough.
Wilty boy.
He is older too. He's another
Jerry?
guy. Jerry's another guy who's tough to rank. Because it's like, literally, where the fuck do you put him? Like, who do you...
He's literally the logo.
The problem is
he's literally the logo.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to bump somebody down to put somebody like that in. You have to, and it keeps going like that. That's why I think it's like, you can't put Steph Curry in there yet. You can't put KD in there yet. KD, I might put at 10. 10 or 11.
We could put KD at 10. I think, realistically...
Who's 9?
I'm trying to think of guys today. because there's a lot of old heads that we throw in there. Did we throw Bill down yet? I don't even know if we threw Bill down. You got to throw Bill has to be top 10. If he's not your top 10, you can't win 11 rings and not be top 10.
Fine. So Michael, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, Magic.
I thought we put Kareem at 5.
Oh, Kareem, Magic, Larry. Who did we say? I gotta think of this.
Don't remember.
Squidward.
Was that where we put Bill? No, we put Wilt at 8. We put Wilt at 8.
Wilt, Bill, KD.
No, do we put Wilt above Wilt and
I think
Bill?
Wilt has the stats. Bill has the rings.
Bill has the rings. It's literally like craziest MVP race actually of all time.
Built in well.
MVP race, even better. Bill Russell won it. I don't remember his stats. Ironically, I really think...
Weren't there like 3 people who were ridiculous?
Let me go through it. Bill Russell, like impressive stats, 20-plus rebounds, 25 points a game, something like that. But this was the season where Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points a game. Oh, also the same year, Oscar Robinson. We didn't even talk about him. He was...
Oh, Oscar Robinson was gross.
That same year in that MVP race, he averaged a triple-double. First time ever. I mean, Russell Westbrook has made that a regular stat.
Russ is another guy.
He has no rings, though. You can't put him in top 10, no rings.
No, but that's the thing. Not top 10, no rings, I agree, but stats alone.
Honorable mention?
Honorable mention? No, not that high. Russ is probably like a 25, 26.
He's also got time left, too, though. I don't think he ever wins, though.
Nope. No, I agree.
It sucks because he's one of those guys where it's like, yeah, he's giving it his all every game.
Oh, he's captain.
He is not like, I'm going to sit this game because I could use some rest. He's like, no, I'm going to go out there and just bully everyone. He's going to get in your face. He's one of those guys that, like, if
you don't piss Russell Westbrook.
He's a guy that would actually fight you on the NBA court.
Oh, probably.
Him, Marcus Smart, like, there's a lot of guys.
Not a fan.
Dude, there was there was one time Lonzo Ball was like, yeah, I'm going to walk away because I know I'm not going to fight you. Like, there's so many guys that's like swing where it's like, no.
Fuck no, baby.
Like, this is not happening. Another, like, some young guys that could end up on the list, Luka.
There's way
too early. I'm not even ranking him up there.
No. We can't throw names like that around in this list. Not even close. You got to be at least like 30 plus and have a decade behind. Giannis has so far been the only exception who's under the age of 30.
Well, that's different though because he has the accolades where Luka hasn't been around enough.
And if he wins, that's so huge in his legacy.
Because how many years has he been in the league?
Like 6.
And he's already going to be winning one? Michael didn't win until like his 7th year. LeBron didn't win until like his 9th year.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? This man, and if they start putting a team, I mean, if you give Giannis,
they have a good team,
and if you give Giannis another piece, yeah, they can compete with Brooklyn Nets because they have the defense.
Yeah, that's what I've. Plus being in the East, the Nets aren't going to be together as long as everybody thinks. It's going to.
I think it's not.
It will crumble. I don't know how, but things are going to happen. So like the Nets, I'm not even. Whatever, they win a ring. But as far as like, I bet Kyrie goes first, and then it's going to be KD, James Harden, and then it's like, okay, guys, we're going to need fucking bench players. Like somebody's got to do something. They're getting too old. We can't. They can't play 45 minutes a game.
These guys are still in their prime, but it's like they're locked up for a little while. It's like
Kyrie's gonna be first to go.
Kyrie's always the first one to go. Are you kidding me? He always jumps shit. He's a guy that like, another narrative thing, and I feel like narrative is so big when it comes to these debates. He has the ring. He's had the clutch shot. Like he has moments, but he's like, okay, LeBron, I know you're gonna leave, so I'm getting out of here before you do.
It's all.
Now I'm gonna go be a leader. And then he doesn't be a leader, and then I'm going to Brooklyn to form another super team.
Not to mention he's not even playing like half the games. Kyrie Irving.
He also gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving is not very high on this list.
Narrative plays such a key role. Like I was saying actually the other day, the only time I'm rooting for Kevin Durant is Team USA. That's just because God bless this country. But just, if you don't like a guy, how do you put him up there?
You don't.
You can't.
You can't. He also doesn't. He has a accolade. He has like a shot and a ring.
A lot of guys don't even have that though.
I know, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm not putting him in the top 10.
No, he doesn't play enough games.
No, Doesn't play. It's not even that for me.
Not even close to the top 10. I wouldn't even put him like top 30. Even that's tough.
I would have to do a real.
Plus,
deep
his
dive
body
on
work
that.
isn't done, but we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. I think maybe.
Number 2 in handles of all time, though.
Oh yeah.
Give me AI.
AI's up there. Jamar or Crawford. I can't think of his first name. Jamal Crawford. I think best like 6-man. Really? You don't know Jamal Crawford?
No, I do.
Yeah.
You think he has better handles than Kyrie Irving?
Have you seen his highlights?
Have you seen Kyrie Irving?
Yes. I'm not. No. What? Jamal Crawford is up there.
I'm cool.
He has some of the best handles of all time.
I'm cool with him being up there. Don't put him. It's AI and Kyrie.
And Jamal Crawford. He's in the.
Yeah, he's the. You remember that penthouse you're talking about, LeBron and Michael? When we're talking about handles.
I put all 3.
Oh my God! What the mother loving are we doing?
Go do yourself a favor. Go watch some.
You act like I've never seen this man. I know what you're talking about.
You've seen the tail end of this man. Look at Jamal Crawford in his prime.
I'm still putting Kyrie. Dude, you see that? That man is, as much as he irritates me, that man is a wizard with the ball. The way he just, dude, I can't even dribble down court. Like
Steph Curry's another guy whose handles are.
They're up there in today's league. I still would put Kyrie over him. That's
yeah. All right, fair enough. I think we're.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we have for today, folks. If you like what we're doing, please comment, share, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. The more, the merrier.